so this is technically the third homework assignment for this functions and linear relations, because we split this page into 2 homework assignments in the gradebook. So the first 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, and 4, were 1 homework assignment, and then the rest of them were another homework assignment where we're just using tables for graphing. So the first part of this was done on a separate video. So if you need help with the first 4 questions, go back to that other video. This video is going to focus on questions 5 through, I believe it's 16, if I scroll down here. So 5 through 16. So you can see that 5 through 12 give you an XY table that is filled in, half filled in. So we can see that we have the X values in this XY table. What they want us to do is go through and fill out the Y values. The last couple questions on the homework do not have anything filled in. And what they want you to do is literally go and choose your own X values and figure out what Y is. And we'll get there in just a moment. But for these ones, in order to get full credit, you do need to show work. So make sure if you don't have enough room, and there's definitely not enough room on this page to show work, you'll need to have a separate sheet of paper. For now, I'm just going to write my work up above here in this space I didn't use in the last video. So sometimes the work is as easy as just showing that you know that you're taking this equation and you're plugging in an X value. So with this one, I can simply write Y equals 2 times, and I'm going to show that I'm plugging in -5. And I can go Y equals 2 times -5 is -10. If you didn't have this part, if you just simply had the top part and you just put -10 in here, that's fine. But we do need to see some work to see how you got there. Okay. So if I just see this table filled in, I'm going to write somewhere around here, show work, and you're going to lose points. And once you move on to algebra, they give you so long to start showing your work before they just stop giving you credit for your homework. So make sure that you're showing your work, even if it's simple work. Okay. So I get -10 when I have -5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go down to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the way down to 10. And there's my point. Sorry about the little tick marks, I was counting. All right, so now if I do the next one, I go Y equals -2 times -3, like that. So now I have Y equals -6. Again, this part, if you didn't write this down, if you just wrote it here, I would probably still accept that. Some teachers may want you to go ahead and write this part down, though. So just keep that in mind. Different teachers, different guidelines. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I go 3 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So there I have it right there. So I can see right here, hopefully you can see, if I kind of start connecting this, that there is going to be a line going through there. So if I do the next one here, Y equals 2 times -1. Whoop, why didn't it switch colors on me? -1, there you go. So that's Y equals -2. So now if I go -1 down 2, I land right on that line that I already graphed. So you just want to go through and you're filling out all of these pieces, and you don't really need 5 points to graph this line. 3 points is plenty. I can definitely see that I'm doing my math correctly on this one because all 3 points are in a straight line, but they want you to do 5 points, so you do have to go through and fill out the chart to get full credit. So Y equals 2 times 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. So that's my next one. So if I go over to the right 2 and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see there's my next point. And then I'm going to go Y equals 2 times 4. So Y equals 8. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I didn't quite go up high enough with my line there. But if I had continued my line, it's going to scooch over a little bit, but that would continue. And then I want to put an arrow on both sides because I'm showing that it's continuing on and on forever, and fill in my chart here. But to get full credit, you need to fill in your table, you need to show your work, and you need to graph the line correctly. So I know that's a little bit more on those ones, but you do need to make sure you're doing all of those pieces correctly. So you're going to go through and complete the table for each one of these, and you will need a separate sheet of paper for your work. So just prepare for that. So I wanted to go through and look at one of these down here so that you can see how that's going to work out. So if you look at number 13, that has a fraction on it. Number 15 has a fraction, and number 16 has a fraction. So the only one that doesn't have a fraction is number 14. So the reason I'm pointing out fractions is because when I have a fraction and I'm multiplying or dividing that by x, and if you have a fraction being multiplied by x, it's pretty similar to it being divided. Okay, it just depends on how you write this. Like for instance, I can rewrite this as negative x divided by 4 if I wanted to, which is how they wrote this one up top on number 13. So it's just, again, formatting how they're writing it. But what you want to do is you want to focus on that bottom number, that denominator. Okay, that's what's going to help us choose numbers. We want to choose numbers that are multiples of the denominator. That way, when we go through and we multiply and divide, the fraction actually disappears, and it's much easier to graph. If there's no fraction, like number 14 here, I would just choose something easy, like 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2. And I would go through and plug these numbers in and see what I get for y. I don't have to worry about eliminating any fractions there because there is no fraction to eliminate. But on number 13, 15, and 16, I do want to choose convenient numbers. So 0 is always a good one. That's always kind of my middle point, so I'm going to put 0 on all of them. For number 13, since it's a denominator of 3, I'm going to choose 3 and 6 and negative 3 and negative 6. This way, again, when I go through and plug these in, I actually am eliminating that fraction. Same thing with number 15. So now number 15 is a 2 on the bottom. It's a half. Half isn't as bad to graph, but still I would like to eliminate that fraction if I can. So I'm going to go 2, 4, negative 2, negative 4. So that when I do plug this in, it's going to eliminate that fraction for me. And then same thing with number 16, but now it's 4. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to choose multiples of 4. So I'm going to have 4 and 8, negative 4, and negative 8. And I'm going to go through, now that I have these points chosen, you'll go through and do that exact same thing I just showed you on that other example problem, where you're going to plug them in. So you'll plug in negative 6, for instance, on 13, and then divide by 3. So negative 6 divided by 3, and then you'll add 2 to that. And that'll give you your y coordinate. And then you do the same thing with negative 3. You'll plug it in where you divide by 3, and then add 2 to whatever your result is. So you're still doing the same thing. They just are making you choose these. These are not going to be ones that are actually on the test. These were only on this homework assignment. On the test, if they do ask you to do this, it's going to look like these ones where they already have the points chosen for you. You're not going to have to choose your own points. All right, I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.